Hey, thanks for joining us, Kate, on this lovely Friday morning. How are you?
You good? How are you? You feeling better?
Yeah, but it probably shows how not sick I was, but not really. But so I'm doing all right. I hate no energy.
Oh, yeah.
Give me most other things, but don't take away my energy. I just had annoying energy, and anyway, I'm all right. I'm fine. I feel better now. I was excited
You
to.
look good. Look good.
Thanks. I don't know why that's gone all dark. Anyway, doesn't matter. Jane makes comments off air, going your cameras, change the text, move the next song, please.
Highlight onto me.
yeah. How are you? How's your week been?
Good. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Not bad. School holidays. Still working.
Oh.
And just the washing machine broke. I stepped in cat poo this morning, so.
Is that because do these things happen because you are so tired? Why are you? Why, or is it just you? Just
cat
you?
pooping in the hallway.
Oh,
Anyway, stop.
why is the cat pooping in the hallway?
Anyway, we have some special cats.
Hey, we've been trying to. I understand. I know when you chime in and sometimes listen and sometimes don't. It's because you're a midwife and you do night shifts and day shifts. And is that just been the case forever? Always.
Yep.
Always.
You just have to rotate through different shifts all the time. Yep.
And you've been doing this for 20 something years.
Mm-hmm.
What drew you to mid? I can't say midwifery because I think about whiffing mids. But it's what I say, isn't it?
Be a midwife.
A midwife. What drew you to? When did you remember your first day and how nervous
I do, but the thing before my first day, probably one of the things that drew me when I was doing my nursing, is that Alex, my sister. I don't know where I'm meant to be looking at the camera because I can see myself in all places. Anyway,
just look
Alex, my sister, invited me along to the birth of her second child, Meg, and so I got to go for that. And it was amazing. And so then after my nursing and my grad year and doing some nursing, I went and did my mid after that.
Is it a pretty seamless transition from what you learnt in nursing?
There's more to learn, but it's just, well, actually probably is because I was doing a lot of aged care. So it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You are an RN?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, good. Initials. We work on initials. So you would have been used to, I guess, seeing people in vulnerable states.
Yeah, for sure.
So was that your first birth that you saw, Alex's?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it?
Or not Meg's, the birth of Meg. Yes, Alex's birth of Meg.
Wow.
Yep.
Take me to a room. This is a general question, maybe that I shouldn't. No, I'm going to ask it. Put me in a room. Put me in a room when a birth happens. I've never been in one. I don't know what happens. I don't know what sounds happen. I got a rough idea. Just when screaming. What do you hear and see?
All births are different, right? So I might some are quick, some are long, some are noisy, some are quiet. So it depends. Some people do something called calm birth, where they've kind of almost they do a little course while they're pregnant. So their calm birthing is really quiet and relaxed and focused and just, really calm and beautiful. Actually, I shouldn't say beautiful because they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
Others are just really almost primal, like just really just embracing it and just going because there's roaring, there is screaming and, but I guess I'm used to it. But I just, like if we're at work and we hear certain noises, we're just like, yes, she's ready to have her baby, she's getting close, she's going to have it soon because we can hear the different noises and the different sounds they make. And it's just amazing the different sounds as they progress through labour. And it's beautiful.
Even down the hallway, you can and everyone's different.
I was going to say that, should I?
Sounds like
down the street.
Sounds like time zone, just noises going on everywhere. Just go,
yeah. It's just, It's great. It's amazing. It's just such a powerful experience that, there's these noises, almost uncontrollable, it's...
Have you developed as a midwife in terms of what you knew when you first went in and then what you know now? Do you behave differently based on knowing now what the woman needs in that particular moment? Or?
Probably. Like, I think you learn to be able to sit also in silence and learn not to say things as well, because a lady can be in labour for hours, and they go through different phases, and sometimes they just need to be calm, and you need to be able to sit there and just be with them sometimes. And I think that's a really hard thing to learn when you're first starting. You want to be doing and fixing and all that, but sometimes, so that's different, being able to cope with the silence and the just sitting and being. Sometimes you have to find, the right words to say to keep them going and encouraging them. So I think I'm probably calmer than I was. I also know a lot more, so I know things that potentially might go wrong. So at the start I didn't know as much, so that was good and bad, and now I know a lot more, and that's great. And also I've always got the back of my mind, you can sort of see what's going, different variables that might be going on around as well.
Is it quite serious still to this day? Like it's a serious thing. Like, you're not going after work, come on, hurry up. We've got to get home and clean up the cat poo. I've got to go, guys. Obviously, you wouldn't portray that.
It's two things, I think. It is natural, and it happens everywhere, all around the world, under a tree, in the hospital. It happens everywhere. But it is serious. Like, it's a whole new life coming into the world, and it's such an amazing design that it does happen and everything goes well, because it doesn't take much for things that could potentially go wrong. So it is serious, yes. But women's bodies, generally, that's how they're made, and they, it works.
Yeah, they're ready. They're ready to go. Do you cry?
Yes.
In
I try not to. I should have said at the start of this interview, it's very likely there might be some tears, because I'm a McEwen and I'm highly emotional. But
do you cry when
I try really hard not to. There's a couple of things probably that make me cry. If I see the partner getting emotional and just loving it and loving their woman so much, and then seeing their baby for the first time, that can really get me, and I just have to hold it back. And sad things make me sad, and I have to really try and hold that. I mean, I don't think it's bad to cry in front of people, right? And sometimes that can be something that you're showing that you're being empathetic. But I don't all the time, probably not as much as I do at home. But because I can somehow, I don't know how I can hold it together sometimes, but it's the most amazing, beautiful thing. And when you see people experiencing that time, it's such a privilege to be in their space when that's happening. And I can get a bit emotional, but I have to remind myself that it's not really about me at that time.
Yeah, I'm sure you do that quite well. Not putting yourself first. You always seem to do that on the daily, which is pretty amazing.
Ask my kids.
Yeah. All right, get them on.
They're all in bed. No, Bella's on the train.
Selfish. There's an International Midwife Day, Nursing Day.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's important? That there is, there's a day for you. Usually, it takes some observations from society to say, hey, look, we need these people need these jobs, these people in these roles need some recognition that they're not getting. What do you think these days are there for, and what kind of supports are there for midwives? Because you carry a lot
I guess
outside of your job.
Yeah, we have great celebration through work with that big days where we all get together, we go on for walks, and it's us raising awareness too of midwives being out there. Look, I guess we're present for huge things in people's lives, and we have to be a really big support for people. I don't think that we don't necessarily get recognised, but it's good to have that acknowledgement, because there are midwives around the world. I love it and I'm great, but I work with some amazing midwives who really, it is their life and their passion, and they give everything to it. People far better than me who will be on call, 24 hours a day for their women, especially those home birthing midwives. And I think it's good for them to be recognised, the sacrifice that midwives make for women, to give women a positive experience, to make this a beautiful moment for them. So it's great to have that day, just to, and maybe it's validation. I don't know. What we're doing is important. Yeah.
Yep. Culturally, Do you notice that there's different, you'd see different cultures coming in there? Does different things apply? Has that always been something that the hospitals have made sure that we are culturally safe? Is it because we are a little bit slow in that area in a broader scale of especially in Australia, understanding the differences? Maybe they don't want a white nurse. Maybe they want a coloured nurse. Maybe, how do you see that going in hospitals at the moment? And
I think we're doing better. I think we've always known about it, but like there's I wish that I spoke many languages. That's what I wish as a midwife, because now more and more we have immigrants and refugees coming through. We have women that don't want male doctors or male midwives in the room. We have, you don't want the wrong culture going in. It could be someone from different tribes. You don't want them in the same room or going in there. We do have, there's a Koori program through the hospital that you can go. So there's at Watherong, the Koori midwifery group. And so that's getting better. I think we have a room actually for that. It's got beautiful Indigenous artwork in the room, and that's really nice. So things like that, trying to embrace their culture in that way. And we have training days of how we relate to different people, but we can definitely do better, I think. I think we're still learning, and we just need to listen to women and ask the questions and be willing to adapt and learn. Like it's a really vulnerable time for people. I think midwives are aware of it, and they want to be sensitive to cultural needs. I think we're doing all right. I think we probably could always do better. And I don't understand every culture. And we get lots through, some are vocal. That's how they birth. Some want it just to be quiet. So we just have to read the woman and, listen to what they're telling us, either verbally or non-verbally, and, try and support them in that. Yeah. What
was it like, you being the minority culture going into Ghana, or you've been to some places where you would have been, you already are a pretty white person in general. You definitely would have been the whitest person in Ghana, or places.
I was probably, some people had not seen someone like me before over there. Over there, they called Albrani is what they called me as a white person.
What do they call you? What was
Albrani. Albrani.
What's that mean?
White person. Oh. Just a white thing, not a white person. That was amazing. Like I was really stepping into very unknown. It was very early on in my mid when I'd started and gone over there, and look, it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And the women there are so tough, so strong. So like walk from the village, miles and miles. The beds were awful. They were tough. Like their friends came in there slapping their bellies to get this baby out. Like it was a whole nother world, really. Like it was, but absolutely incredible, tough as anything over there. So that was an amazing cultural experience for me. And I'm in awe of the people over there. Yeah.
Did you come back and slap a few bellies on your guys?
Or not, just any belly. Just
listen up. Listen up. There's some new techniques out there that I think we should embrace.
No, it was an interesting thing because I think they were trying in Ghana. They were trying to be more Western. They were trying to think, oh, this is how you're meant to do it this way, and they were losing a bit of their own way of doing things. And so they'd often have women up in stirrups. Do you know what that is?
Horse stirrups.
Legs up.
Yeah, legs up. Yeah, on little carriages. Yeah.
Which these women would have been birthing, squatting, on knees, that sort of thing, and thinking, oh, maybe is this the way you're meant to do it? So they were in this in-between sort of phase, which was a bit sad, I thought, because they didn't need it, a lot of that stuff, it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if that's because Western doctors had come over as well. There were mission groups that would go over, and they were great, did a lot of stuff, and not everything went well over there. They didn't have the facilities, so bad things happened as well. So there's definitely something valuable in Western medicine and as well. But it was just interesting, that they were tough women. They were great. Yeah, amazing.
home birthing, that's getting a bit more back to what it would have been like pre-hospitals and Western world. There would have been home births going on, and do you think that's
definitely.
why there is popularity in home birthing?
I think even more increasing since COVID. More people
Yes.
interested in that, wanting to have no midwives, wanting to be able to have their support around them, make their own decisions a bit more. Yeah, so I think that has become a bit more popular during COVID as well.
Do you do that as well?
Nope.
Is that a separate
It is
training?
separate. You can do it. We have midwives who work with me, and they also do home birth as well. They do a bit of both. It's a little bit of a process. It's a lot of insurance. They don't get a lot of support due to risk, although the risk is not much different to birthing in a hospital. So it's just a bit more of a trickier process to get that. But there are some amazing home birth midwives in Geelong. And one of them is a midwife that I had for all my pregnancies as well. I didn't home birth, but she is a home birth midwife, and she is amazing. She's the best.
Who is it?
Her name's Lynn Pike.
Oh, right.
Just like, she's Mother Nature. She is Earth.
I've got some questions coming up, and there is a bit of chat line going on. People are really interested in this topic.
Don't ask anything too hard.
Here's a tough one. No,
I'll
they're not.
try to say anything inappropriate.
What's that?
So I'll try to say anything inappropriate, or Jane will say, I always use my hands in the wrong way when I'm talking about midwifery, so I have to be really careful. I'm trying hard to keep them still.
First question. Hey, how do you process the sadness involved in some birthing experiences, and does it get easier?
I don't think it gets easier. I say I'm going to say a lot, but I often am the one allocated to women who have said, babies have died, or they're giving birth to a baby that will be born not alive. And it's always sad. It's always sad. And I can mostly hold it together sometimes. 2 days ago when I was at work, in fact, I was looking after a lady and her husband whose baby had died. And they just, and I was there for the time when they had to put everything together. We had to help them say goodbye to her. And that was really hard. That, it doesn't get easier. And I try not to let my emotions come too far in the forefront, because it's their time. But I think it's also, like I was saying before, I think it's good for them to understand that we're not callous about it, that we actually really know it's a really big deal. Like, it's a huge thing. And it's a little person, like it's that this person, that they've got these hopes and dreams and ideas, have already got a life thought about for this person. It is really sad. And we have good support around us at work. We can have, counselling and that sort of thing if we need to. It depends. All of those births are different as well, different circumstances around them. But it doesn't get easier. I mean, I'm used to seeing those babies. I had a student with me the other day, and it was a smaller baby. So if I say too much, just say, because it can be confronting for people. I understand that. So I understand if I say things, but it's also
that's helpful.
It's part of life as well.
Yeah.
And she had never seen a baby, a little baby, and she even had no idea of what it would be like. And so with my experience, yes, I get used to it in terms of I've seen them, but it doesn't get any less sad. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the preparation's not as tense.
Yeah, I know what to expect, I think.
Yeah.
And not even always, but I know how to speak to the women. Probably it's a bit easier maybe for me. Yeah.
You wouldn't say, don't worry, this happens all the time.
Definitely not.
Definitely wouldn't say
Definitely
that.
not.
Or don't worry.
No, definitely not.
I wouldn't say that.
Please don't say that ever to people, or that it was meant to be.
Don't worry, this is my 8th one today.
That's right. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. No, just you can't. No, and you know what? Anyway, personal. I've had 2 miscarriages, and my first was it's early gestation, but and people saying things like that. Oh, this happens to this many people. This is pretty common. It wasn't meant to be anyway, you know, all that sort of stuff. You can't say it. Don't say it, you know. And if you don't know what to say, you just say, I'm really sorry, don't know what to say. You know, like that's okay. Yeah.
I struggle a little bit. Maybe we all do in some way, but I definitely personally struggle with situations I've got no idea about.
Yeah, we all do.
And I don't want to do the typical, oh, sorry to hear that. So I really try and curate something helpful.
I think that's okay, but you can just say, I think that is okay to say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear this.
I'm sorry. When we go into these women, we're meeting these women for the first time, and what do we say? It's lovely to meet you, but I'm like, this is the worst time. This is awful. I am really sorry. Like, why would, I think that's okay.
What's the bereavement midwifery group?
There's just a group of us that try to, we're trying to make this, it's hard to get the right words, the best experience for these women. It is a lot of paperwork, a lot of bits and pieces. We try and put the resources together so that it makes sense. We've got, we have little things like they get little knitted hearts. We organise for those little hearts to get knitted. People donate teddy bears. We have all kinds of things. We have what's called a cuddle cot for these babies born sleeping, all kinds of things that we organise, and so that we work with the women mostly when they come in. Yeah, we need to do better, and we're hoping in the new hospital there will be a much better space for these women.
Is it quite small? Is it?
It's small, but it's in the birthing suite with the woman next door giving birth to her baby and her babies, so she can hear that baby crying while she's holding her baby, not crying. It's pretty awful. So we try and make that experience as best we can for them, you know, probably least traumatic as we can for them.
Was your miscarriages traumatic?
Not traumatic, sad. My first one was, sad, and that was earlier. And then I had my 3 girls. And then I had my next pregnancy after that was another miscarriage. And he was, the first one I didn't really get to see. And anyway, I'll just say we called her Jemima. And then the one after the girls, we called him Noah. And he was little, but he had fingers, toes, everything. And anyway, this will get me going. And all the girls got to see him. And so it wasn't traumatic. It was beautiful. But it was really sad. Yeah.
Is it important to give names and start going, hey, you're real to us, you're real to the world?
It is for me. I don't think it is for everyone. You don't have to, definitely not. But it is real. And before we had Noah, I knew we were going to lose him. I had some bleeding, and I made sure to tell family that we were pregnant because I wanted them to be happy for that life, you know. Even though I know he was going to be going. So then, because it is a life, you know, you want people to sort of rejoice in that a little bit. So it's important for me, but there are people that don't. There are people that have babies at work who don't want to see them, don't want to hold them, don't want to name them. They can't do that either. That's part of their grieving, and that's okay. That's their decision. Some people who don't want to see them, we always take photos and we have them on a little SD card that we have for them if they ever want to look at their babies, because they might down the track want to do that. Yeah. It's really hard in that moment to know what to do. A lot of the time they don't have time to think about what to do, what will it look like, what am I, you know, it's a huge thing. And for me, I've been around it a lot. So it's not scary for me, but it can be really scary for other people. So they want to sometimes detach themselves. So it depends. For me, it was important. It's important for my kids to know that, you know, they had these siblings, you know, like, and the girls remember seeing him, you know. He was tiny, but they got to see him, and that was, I think it's important, but that's just maybe for our family.
Do many people take up the return?
Take up what?
Do any women return and go, hey, look, I actually do want to see my...
We give everyone a box, and it will have, we do handprints and footprints, and on a little card, depending on how old the baby's, the baby the other day had hair, and they wanted hair in a little thing. We put the little photos on a little SD card that all goes in this box that they can take and look at or not look at.
Right, so you give it to them there and then.
Yeah,
look, here it is.
We can, if they don't want to, we can keep them, and we have got some at work that they can come back and get if they want them. Yeah.
Do you feel our Western medical-based birthing class has women and future dads well prepared for labour, or is there things you would advocate more strongly to be included to make your job easier?
I don't currently run the birthing classes, but I know people that do, and I generally know what the content is. I think it's not bad, the content. I think a lot of women don't access it and say that can be a problem because they're not prepared, or they're reading things, themselves, which can be okay, but there's a lot of information out there that might not be okay. I think the thing is too, labour and birth is a huge thing, and we do focus on that, but that's one day, a huge day, an amazing, beautiful day. But I think it's the all around that. It's the leading up to that. It's the after that as well. That's important. That I think women need to know about as well. And I think that's what's lacking. I think women are generally prepared. Birth Time, which is that movie documentary that's been out recently. One of the things in there that I found really good was women today, especially Western women, don't understand that pain is okay. So they're going into, I think that's something we can talk about more. This is good pain. This is normal. This is natural. This is what it's meant to be. So embracing that rather than just be straight away being fearful of it or wanting to get rid of it. So I think I'm not sure how much they talk about that. We certainly get the anaesthetist comes in and talks to them about epidurals and things, which is important because that might need to happen. It's good to have information about that, but also understanding your body, how amazing your body is and what it can do, and that a lot of it is, this is a normal feeling. This is what you'll feel. That's okay. So I think that's what women need to know. Trust your body, but also trusting the midwives. We're there to advocate for women. We want the best. We want them to have the best experience. We don't want them to be in harm, So I think the birthing classes cover most of it pretty well. But I haven't been to one for a long time, so whoever's asking might have a different experience. I'm not sure.
Some brilliant comments came out. Some of them are very lengthy, but I'll just read a short one. Having a midwife with this personal experience of loss would be a sad time for the midwife, but a wonderful support for other mothers who birth sleeping babies. Do you bring up that you also went through it ever? Or is that something you avoid?
Not often. Yeah. So it would depend on the situation. It would depend on the situation. Yeah. But not often, no. And I don't think and sometimes we're not there for long enough to talk to them. It's awful. I was just saying the other day, we need to change our length of time. These poor women have to meet a new person, and I just think, I'm happy to go in there for the whole lot, let me, just to be that support. But I don't often talk about my own losses to them. No. Yeah, but I think it gives me an understanding of that different sadness. Yeah.
What's this business about you becoming an aspiring nonna? I love it. Do you know, you weren't the first person to say that out of the other people that helped me with your bio. What's this nonna bizzo? What's
okay, there's a number of things to this, right? I live in Bell Park.
Nonnas everywhere.
Old Bell Park. So it's just, you kind of just have to become a nonna. And I think it started because all my three girls are taller than me now, and I'm just like, they just come and say, "Oh, you little nonna," and like that, and I just, I don't know. In my head, I'd love to be like a pasta nonna where you make your own pasta and you're making all your own, preserves and all that sort of thing, that sort of thing. Where I wear an apron a lot of the time, those sorts of things. And do this a lot,
Do this.
And give big smoochy kisses and stuff like that.
And just sweep leaves on your concrete driveway at
sweep them. You got to hose them down. No, I don't hose them down.
Oh, well, save water, save water.
Like we just have the chickens are out the front. Yesterday, our neighbour came over and dropped our chicken back because, she'd gone through into her backyard, and I just, that sort of thing. And they don't care around here because it's, they're all nonnas and they just think it's great. Yeah.
Has your role changed in any new ways over the last 2 years of COVID or however long it's been? Has it been challenged? Has motherhood
homeschooling?
Hey?
Homeschooling life? What do you mean?
Yeah, homeschooling. Like, you gotta be, your kids are home more.
Changed a bit. I quite love having the kids home because lots of reasons. Because I love my kids, but also because I really hate getting lunches ready for school. I don't like having uniforms ready. Yeah. I don't like the hassle of it. So I love that because I'm lazy. So I quite liked it and it worked well. And especially during COVID, my husband's a teacher and he was home. Oh, no, he was in and out. But it was so nice. We got to spend so much time together. That was great. But it has changed a bit now. Now I am one of my girls is full-time homeschooling now. So that is a different role and that's a bit of a challenge. I'm not that good at it and I'm learning and she's learning and she's got some, special qualities. So it makes it's a challenge. Yeah. It's a role that for years and years, I love the idea of it. And Brendan's always like, oh, you could definitely do it. And I'm just like, well, if we move back to Africa, I'll do it. But I'm not, then I'll do it. That was, but I've never felt like I would be good at it. And anyway, I'm learning. I love the idea of it.
You're learning of homeschooling.
Yeah, how to do it in a way that works. And that's the joy of homeschooling. You can adapt it to work for your kids. And we're just trying to work out how that works for her in the best way.
I love it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hey, Kate, it's 8:05. We did really well. I knew we would.
We did really well.
You steamed through it. We steamed through 30 minutes. There's some
too much. Sorry.
No, it's great. There's some real positive stuff. People are saying awesome interview. It's nice to see some empathetic stuff. The responsibility midwives take on every shift is hugely underestimated by society. The medical training with layers of safety and analysis through the labour journey that new mums and dads don't know is happening to ensure a safe birth for baby and mum. It's a huge skill to keep labour wards functioning smoothly.
Yeah, it's huge. It's busy. And now at the moment it's so busy. COVID babies are coming everywhere. So it's a mad time. Not enough rooms, not enough people. It's a bit mad, but, it's great.
You would be a great... do you think you could translate these skills into like an event specialist? Just go, guys, over here, you, over there, stop it, over here. You're lovely, excellent. You're late. You forgot the clipboard. Make sure you go over there and go 3 pens, not 2 pens. Thank you. You are.
No, not.
Yeah, I love it. Best interview of the year. Such a great interview.
Is that like my mum or something?
No.
Oh, no, sorry, because Alex is on too.
Some nonna.
Is that Brendan in the other room?
It's an Italian family. Mate, put that one up. Frame it. No, nonnas are the best. You make a great nonna. I think you, without being disrespectful of the real nonnas that are nearby, I think you are a nonna. Get the apron out and stand on the brick fence.
In a minute. I'm going to do some baking in a minute.
Hey, Alex, far out. Kate, don't tell me off. Don't scold me on the finish. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much. That wasn't as traumatic as I thought it would
be. No, you blitzed it. It's really nice. Hey, you got a song? Oh, Mandy, do we play Mandy Patinkin?
Oh yes, I do. There's so many things I could. Yeah, go play Mandy Patinkin. Can you find something? Just do Coffee in a Cardboard Cup again.
What do you mean?
That's what his song's called.
Is that a song? See, I remember being around you when we were kids, and Mandy Patinkin was something that Nat said. I just remember the name Mandy Patinkin. It's the stupidest. It's a wacko name, Mandy Patinkin. It's like, it's like
Mandy for a man.
Mandy, and I didn't know until now that it's a man.
Oh, sorry, it's a man.
It's a man, Mandy Patinkin. Yes.
You know The Princess Bride. You know The Princess Bride, the movie?
No.
Oh, Troy, you'll have to come over and watch it.
Mandy Patinkin. What's the song called?
Coffee in a Cardboard Cup. So it's just a short song.
Saying it so seriously. Coffee in a Cardboard Cup. Make sure. COFFEE. All right, we're out of here, Kate. Thanks for joining us. Stick around.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
See
Bye.
ya.